Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another story time. Today, I'm going to read a story that I'm not familiar with, but maybe you might be. How do you feel about rats? Well, rats evoke a lot of different images and a lot of different people. They're highly intelligent little creatures, and you can even train them to do all sorts of tricks. So while some might be wary at the sight of a rat, you could be rest assured that they're actually pretty clean little creatures, similar to raccoons. Rats prefer to have clean hands, and they have a little thumb to help them grasp things. You might be wondering, why is she talking so much about rats? Well, it's because today I'm going to read you the story of the Posh Rat. I've never heard of the Posh Rat before, but maybe you have. So please, slip into your coziest pair of pajamas and get under the covers, because I'm about to read you a rat of many colors. Long ago, before the humans had built London, there was just a river surrounded by grassy hills and trees. It was the domain of all furry things that scurry. Yes, that's right. I'm talking about rats. When humans began building, the rats took to nooks and crannies. They even scurried underground for a while. And then the humans, or the overgrounders as the rats called them, started digging deep, deep down to make something called a subway. Rats went even farther down. But of course, this was all ancient history, before this whole beautiful, bustling underground rat city existed. Who am I and why am I telling you all of this? We'll get into that in a moment. For my story started very recently. You could say it began the day I met Reginald Twitch, or the Posh Rat. Folks call him Posh Rat because of his father, Finnicus Twitch. Yes, that Finnicus Twitch, the one whose face is on the largest cheese coin, the stingy cheese marshal millionaire rat. That is Poshy's dad. As heir to the Twitch fortune, young Poshy was recently promoted as the underground's tube meister, overseer of roads, tunnels, and even waterways. And while the job was pretty sweet, he had no real interest in public infrastructure. You see, Poshy didn't really know what he wanted to be, at least until he met me, that is. That was the day in the underground that rat tube trains began pulling into stations, all streaked with bright, vibrant colors. Very, very strange. The rat train carriages that were normally a dull silver gray were now daubed and striped in any number of the most spectacular hues. Reginald, Poshy's dad called him that, as newly appointed Twitch family tube meister, you need to oversee the tunnel team to figure out why our trains are getting ruined by such awful, awful colors. Well, Poshy knew not to tell his father that. He thought it looked rather nice. So indeed, Poshy's crew of rat workers discovered a leak in the drainage pipe beneath the overground sweets factory. Pink, blue, and bright green swirling streams were oozing down, down, down into the main underground tube tunnel, coloring the train as they passed underneath it. It does dazzle the eyes, Poshy said, but don't just stare. Fix the leak. In a shower of sparks, the helmeted rat workers resealed the pipes, putting a stop to the coloring ooze. We're done, sir. May we be on our way? The worker rat said, eager to get away from any family member of the Twitch family, Poshy included. Well, the pipe looks secure, so you... But before Poshy could finish, the crew of rat workers had already scurried off. Alone in the tunnel, Poshy was about to leave when he noticed a crack of light coming from just above the repaired pipe. Help us! Poshy faintly heard small voices coming from behind the crack. He poked upward with his cane, and the earthy tunnel ceiling crumbled bit by bit to reveal even more bright light. Pocketing his white gloves, Poshy climbed up the dirt wall toward the bright light. He poked his head through the hole and into what certainly looked like the inside of a laboratory. Indeed, it was a workroom in the Overgrounders Sweets factory. Labeled boxes of lollipops, tubs of cotton candy, and jars of sparkling but colorful treats sat in rows among test tubes, gadgets, and dials. On the desk beside the colored gumballs stood a cage, crowded with rats. Lab rats, Poshy said as he blinked. Help us, the cage rats implored to the handsome rat with the tall top hat. These lab rats were all brightly colored: yellow, orange, red, purple, sky blue, bright white, and even a minty green. Well, I promised to explain how I met Poshy, and that's because the neon pink rat, well, that's me. As I promised to explain, I am also a rat, and my name is Pinkerton Barnes. Yes, I know. A pink rat named Pinkerton. Laugh if you must. I wasn't born pink, mind you. I have a much more dignified flamingo shade beneath this neon gumball color. Anyway, I used to be free. But one day, I was captured by the human overgrounders for experiments. Now, I'm a lab rat with all the others. Can you imagine? It's quite embarrassing, really. So, here we all are, in the presence of Poshy Twitch. We recognized him from the telly. Though no one liked the Twitch as much, we couldn't deny he was a very handsome rat. His black eyes twinkled in the glare of the laboratory lights. You're all different colors. It seemed Poshy had a wonderful way of stating the obvious. We're being held here by the overgrounders. They're testing the gumball colors on our fur. It's downright undignified. Well, yes it is, said Poshy, rubbing his clean gray chin in thought. You were all caught, though. Come on now. You're not so posh as to think there are rats who deserve this sort of treatment, do you? Posh Rat clambered out of the hole and into the floor and onto the table where the rat cage sat. He stood close enough for them to appreciate the fine hand stitching on his three-piece fur suit. Dear sir, have a heart, said the blue rat. We ain't seen our families in months, said the green. He won't help us, he's too posh, sniffed the purple rat. No Twitch would save a lowly street rat. Reginald Posh Rat Twitch paused to look at the rats in the cage. At last he shrugged, turned, and let his climbing rope uncoil from the table to the floor. That's right, sneered the red rat. Go home to your father's pile of cheese coins. He jeered as Poshy began to lower himself down from the table. Wait, yelled the pink rat. You don't have to be like the other Twitches, you know. You don't have to be like your father. Poshy's brow whiskers flattened. There was now a twinkle in his eyes. Poshy pulled himself back up onto the table and over to the cage. With all the flair of a seasoned swordsman, he flipped open the latch with his cane and thrusted the cage door wide open. In the hall, the pitter-patter of footsteps began to sound. Hurry, urged Poshy. I hear footsteps. Like a squeaking rainbow waterfall, the rat scurried out of the cage, down the rope, and through the hole in the floor through which Poshy had entered. The rats all hurried in different directions, leaving only Poshy and the pink rat standing face to face in the tunnel. The pink rat took his impeccable manicured paw. Sir, take me with you. You'll need an assistant, I imagine. An assistant? Poshy tilted his head. Doubtful. Well, of course, the pink rat replied, smiling. Every hero needs a sidekick. The end. Isn't that a fun story? It's sort of like Sherlock Holmes. That's my first time reading it, and I hope that you also enjoyed The Posh Rat. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that we get to meet again very soon. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing below and liking the video so that more people can discover the story of The Posh Rat. Have a good night. Good night. Bye-bye.